Guys, how you doing today? Welcome to the channel. We're going to talk about what exactly is going to make the crypto market soar by the end of this year. And there's kind of several factors, I think, but we're going to talk about three. So get ready to rock and roll and watch those crypto and altcoins and all those other types of cryptocurrency just go through the roof. And, there's kind of an impetus of going with the upcoming elections. Now, whether Kamala Harris or Donald Trump gets elected, regardless, I think we're going to see the crypto markets just rise in terms of the price per coin. And whether that's Bitcoin, altcoin, or another coin you're talking about, I think particularly with Donald Trump, if he gets elected and his kind of stance on Bitcoin and saying that they're going to stockpile over 250 million Bitcoin for the US, I think that's kind of a great kind of philosophy and a great action plan that the US has in terms of supporting Bitcoin. And let's get right into. So I think that kind of the three primary factors or movers that are going to see the rise in the Bitcoin price is one is the halvening. Now, if you know what halvening is, it is actually the reward system or reward points that Bitcoin miners are awarded for producing more Bitcoin. And I would say every 3 to 4 years that number gets reduced. As you know, there's only a limited number of coins in circulation, and that's 21 million. They say by in 50 or so years, that number will be have reached the max, and there will be no more bitcoins available for minting and or purchase, not purchase, but for development. And so, just to give you some context into this, so in April, the most recent halving had exactly 3.125 bitcoins awarded for solving these complex mathematical computation to produce new Bitcoin. And by the time that in the next 4 or 5 years, that's going to be reduced to even less, about half of that. Historically, Bitcoin prices have surged or followed halving process. For example, in 2020, the third halving occurred, and this pushed Bitcoin from a price of $5,000 per Bitcoin to over 70,000 or $65,000. Excuse me, 65,000 per Bitcoin. So you get kind of an idea of how the effects of halving does have on the market demand and price elasticity of the digital currency. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is the support for government. I had talked about Donald Trump, if he gets elected, how he's going to support that. But I think that in general, I think that the support for Bitcoin and digital currency is evident. And that's kind of professed itself in the beginning of this year with the new Bitcoin ETF that actually had over $10 billion in trading volume in the first 3 days after opening. That's incredible. And September of this year, Bitcoin traded ETFs options will go live, giving even greater flexibility and options for people to trade not only in Bitcoin ETFs, but also options associated or correlated with those Bitcoin ETFs. Finally, I think the third great thing that's happening that's going to raise the price of Bitcoin is just the support in Washington. Now, just a brief mention that Donald Trump had actually spoken at the previous Bitcoin conference, and he had mentioned the big stockpile that the U.S. would invest and obtain to, either this pay down national debt or whatever they want to use those coffers for. I think that in general, companies like Coinbase, the Bitcoin Blockchain Association are actually lobbying political agendas to where they're getting people elected or supporting those congressmen or congresswomen who are supporting the Bitcoin and not supporting those who don't have a stake in the new digital currency. So these are all three things or three moving factors that I think are going to just upend and create a fantastic surge in the price of Bitcoin. Stay tuned. Don't forget to click and subscribe. And thanks a lot for joining today's video. I look forward to speaking with you on the next one or seeing you on the next.